this evening. Plenty of things happened on the market today. We went ahead and we hung out. We were watching the charts today, watching GameStop get tackled all the way down to $27 and some change. But of course, there's bigger picture, broader economics to look at. And for me personally, I'm looking at the Mag 7. I'm looking at Apple. I'm letting Apple be the story of the market. Now, we're going to talk about the semiconductor sectors. We're also going to be talking about retail in general. Okay, as you guys might know, if you guys are watching the Discord, I posted out projections versus what the actual numbers of retail were for this last December. And I'll show it to you right now. I'm going to pull it up, actually, just to make sure we're there. Now, right here, let's pull it open and I'll show it to you. This is going to be retail, okay? So retail sales advance, it's coming in actual 0.4, projected 0.07, sales, whatever, auto gas, whatever it may be. So the actuals there, but now if you look very at the bottom, retail sales control group 0.07 versus 0.4. So about 30 basis points, if you don't know that, it's the 3 ticks. 30 basis points of month versus month in retail sales itself. So retail looks really strong. It beat out 3 metrics versus the 4 that are listed here. And what that's going to tell you guys is there's consumer demand. There's people that are excited to be to be at the store shopping and spending money, no matter what the inflation is. Now, I've seen the increase on eggs. I've seen the increase on milk and gas. Now, I know this is all going to happen during this time frame when you have recalls and you have, well, I guess, uncertainty for what's happening on Monday. But, some of this is going to get taken off the plate. Some of this is going to get taken off the plate. Like, let's just talk about TikTok right now. It is, Thursday right now? So by Friday. I know that the Hill doesn't want to work on Sunday. So they're going to come up with their decision to ban TikTok tomorrow. So if they're going to ban TikTok and write it off, and it's done, then they will shut down their servers come Sunday night. What does that mean? That means by Monday morning, inauguration, when they're going to be out there in the freezing cold, you got a cold front coming in, and you're going to have Zuckerberg, you're going to have Musk, you're going to have Bezos there, you're going to have them all. Everyone's going to be there, including these guys with TikTok. But I'll tell you, people want to buy them. People are making offers, and I saw Kick do an offer. I saw Mr. Clean, I forget his name right now, the Kevin guy from the show, I forget that whatever the damn, the Shark Tank show. So all these guys want to make a pitch because they know that there's money to be made there. You know what's wild? You know what's crazy? Have you been on TikTok lately? Guys, TikTok is run right now by Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montage. So Spencer and Heidi are running the whole damn thing right now. And what I mean by they're running it is they're the only ones giving life and breath to that app. Their house burned down, and they're bigger than better, and they're back. They're back into the thick of things. If you don't know who they are, they're originally from the way the show started, Kristen Cavallari and Lauren Conrad were best friends, and they were competing against each other on Laguna Beach, and then leaving there, they went over to the Hills. They had these new friends, and next thing you see Heidi and Spencer and Brody Jenner, right? So this is all before the Kardashians, and these were the original guys. So 20 years later, fast forward to now, they're killing it. And I know because I had the DVD box set for Laguna Beach and for the Hills. Like, this is what we watched when we were coming up, or right out of the Army, we were watching this stuff. My wife's big on reality TV back in the day. So I'm aware of who these people are, and I'm aware that they're pushing out the app. But do you know what's happening with TikTok Shop? You know how many people sell items on TikTok for money? It's an amazing amount of people. But you can buy anything right now for $2. You go in there, hey, that dental floss thing they were selling for $30, it's $4 right now. There are massive discounts on TikTok because they're not going to have a platform to sell on come Sunday. So go look at it this weekend, guys. See what they're giving away. But I'm prepared. I hope Rico knows is prepared. I hope everyone else is prepared because it's going to be scary. But hopefully they can reinstate the platform. I happen to like TikTok. I don't have a problem with it at all. For me, user-wise, the user experience and user interface. You guys gave me the UX, UI thing. I've actually known what that means. I just didn't trigger my brain right there. It's like that one time somebody told me DCA, and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, dollar cost average. And I was thinking about like DC. I was like, okay, District of Columbia, CA. I was like, California. I was trying to figure out other initials. Man, there's acronyms for everything. But I've, I've seen them before. You guys sit there and start trying to interpret all these damn words. Like, yeah, they're hiring for that. That'd be cool. But who knows? Who knows what GameStop's going to do next? I don't. So a lot of you guys told me earlier when I made that statement I was leaving the chat, like, Marantz, you can't leave us hanging. I can. But I can tell you, I am fully aware of certain people in certain industries that are teaming up and partnering up and going to the boardroom with GameStop. I can tell you that with put on my son's life, okay? And both of them, because I love them both. But I'm just telling you it's that real. So I have a lot of things to be thankful for. I have a lot of things to be happy about when it comes to this investment. The parts that make it kind of scary are, you have a company like Apple and Nvidia. I'll even use Nvidia. Nvidia's lost $500 billion. It hasn't made news. $500 billion in market cap has not made news. Apple is down 12% from their all-time high. So they were at $3.8 trillion, and they have literally lost $500 billion in market cap. So if we're going to have two companies lose $500 billion, that means a whole trillion just from the Mag 7. Is the Mag 7, is it rebalancing at this point? Are they not going to project these totals, or was this all already penciled in? Remember the gains from Donald Trump being elected from October, those October gains, and you gave them all back right now. We are literally 15 days into the year, 16 days into the year, and we've given it all back. So I'm waiting to see how the semiconductor sector reacts. I saw that the Taiwanese say they still have a huge demand for the chips, and I see we're eventually going to get a story on super microcomputers. Guys, super microcomputers, they have to, this month, they have a month. They have to find a way to present a 10K and a 10Q. They have to show you where their revenue is coming from. And this elevated revenue, guys, and the reason why I talk about super microcomputers and why you guys should all be aware, it's had a larger increase on this market than NVIDIA. It literally has increased 6,000% plus from where it was the previous year to the next year. And how did they actually track those revenues? They track the revenues by inventing them from brother to brother. It's just one, the CEO, and his brothers that run the other companies. So that's who he's billing to. That's how they're round tripping their revenue. That's how they're circulating this currency. But I need to know what's happening, and you need to know, because these could be the biggest dominoes. When you have a company like Supermicro Computers, it was the size of Enron, literally the size of Enron just 6 months ago. And for it to fail and be corrupt and it fall apart to pieces, why are we not talking about it? Why is everyone trying to wait? And they're playing the wait and see game. Well, I know there's a lot of bad actors out there, and it looks like the whole market is the bad actor. Whole U.S. economy, by pumping the Mag 7 over the last 7 years. They've done it, and it's at the top. So I'm waiting to see how it all falls off. But, today's not indicative of that. Today, only 124 stocks were declining, while the rest were increasing. The S&P 500, okay. Some flat, but I'll tell you, that's that market breadth we talk about, where you have more advancers than decliners. And that's an indicator of the overall health of the market. Well, the overall health of the market, I'm sorry, you can't confuse me. You can't disguise it. I'm going to show it to you. The overall health of the market is right here. This is the market. This is Apple. Apple is down from $3.9 trillion all the way down to 3.4. $500 million loss. From 260 all the way down to 228. This shouldn't happen to blue chip companies. You shouldn't come cascading on down when you're one of the pillars of strength for the whole economy. And they're going to try to attribute this and say it's going to be about, China discounted iPhones and this bullshit. No. Same thing here, 153 to 133. $20 a share. Apple's $40 a share, whatever, $30 a share. These guys are $20 a share. And they actually have more shares than Apple. But this is the pump. This is what you guys are missing. And while this is happening, and these stocks are trading 50, let's see, they're below their 50-day moving average. Let's see what Apple is right now. Below the 50-day moving average, similar, just right there. That's the market. That's the market. Another thing about this market that I want you guys to look at, this is SPY, okay? The SPY is trading below its 50-day moving average, right? Look at it. It's below the green line. It's right there. And when I tell you that's the market, you need to pay attention. Two companies are the market. And you can come out and you can tell me this one had good earnings, this one's looking great. Baking, finance. Look at finance right now. The baking sector, 6 for 6. Earnings were just announced today and yesterday. And you're telling me everybody won? And it wouldn't matter if a bank like Bank of America down today 1%, they were up 3% the previous day. So what are you really losing? You're not losing. You're just taking back the percentage that was priced in. That's what I'm telling you. This market can be priced in right here at the 5,900 rate, right? 591. You pumped it, you dumped it. Now what's going to happen quarter one? A 4% increase? Remember, Wall Street projects 4% increase total for the whole sector. 4%. And I've already told you guys, at 10%, you're looking at what, $50? Like they're pushing in a 12% for the whole year. So you got to get 4% each quarter. Or 3% each quarter, I apologize. 3% each quarter. 3% is going to be around $15. That's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough from 590 all the way up to 605, and you're going to have to hold that level. Those are all-time high levels, guys, for this whole economy. And you're going to do it right when Donald Trump announces his inauguration. He comes out with tariffs, and he comes out with tax reforms, he comes out with all of it. They're going to come in here and they're going to tell you can't do it. There's free money on the table, okay? You guys don't know about the free money? I'll explain the free money, okay? So you have Joe Billy Biden. He's in office right now. And Joe Biden's telling companies, come get this money. It's earmarked for certain things, but come get it. Certainly if you're qualified for it. So a company, and I'm gonna show you the company right now. I just want to make sure I have the chart. So right now it's just announced, right after earnings, right after the market closed. It says, hey, we've got this money, we're going to give it to these companies. And these companies are going to be part of the Green Deal. These companies are going to be part of the bullshit that Democrats want to go ahead and spend money on, which is fine. You guys spend the money, it's there, it's earmarked for it. Here's the stock. I hope you remember it. Rivian. Yeah, I told you about this stock. I told you when nobody would touch it. I told you at $10, I told you at $9, I told you at $8, told you at $12 and $13. It's now $15 in the after hours, and it's up because guess what? Joe Biden's going to give him a meal ticket. That's right. Right out the door. He knows he's leaving this week. This is the final days of that administration, and here's who they're giving their money to. The next one they're going to be giving their money to is called Plug Power. So Plug Power, it gets announced right here. Boom, close out the day, $22.74. Nothing major, but it is up. It's up an additional 4% in the after hours, 3% after hours, 4% on the nighttime hours. So already moving on up. Pay attention to Plug because they've got their hand out as well, and they're going to be getting it. So those are the two that I've tracked so far. I'm still tracking more, and I got to see where else we're going to get, okay, with this info. But Plug, Plug, getting that free money, and Rivian as well. So it'll be a bond deal. It'll be something, some type of savior, but you guys have to pay attention to how it's all coming out, okay, this money. But come Monday morning, okay, you never know. Hey, by the way, we're not going that route. Monday morning, we're going to put out more vehicles with gas-powered engine, combustible engines. We're not doing this bullshit. EV footprint going to get cut out. You just don't know what the administration is going to do, but I'm letting you know that free money's on the table, okay? Next part was downgrade here for Dave & Buster's. Complete downgrade this morning. Jumped all the way down. It's play. I'm not a big fan of Dave & Buster's. I think it's private equity. I think I did homework on this before. This should be downgraded every day of the week. It jumps down from 69 a share all the way to 24. This was just in April. 2024 April. It was $70 a share, essentially. Now down to 24. It's lost everything it had. It's lost everything, okay? So if you want to buy this company, it's under $1 billion. At the peak, it was worth $3 to $4 billion. So, yeah, but you can get it now for nothing. And that's just the nature of it. So be careful on Dave & Buster's, please. Another one that got a tick down was going to be United Healthcare. Go figure. All the way down today. Right after earnings, fell down from 551 all the way through. And why? Well, we know why. The CEO got, unfortunately got assassinated. And these guys finally spoke on it. But it's hard to make money. It's hard to make money when everyone's realizing that healthcare is going to get more expensive. You're going to need more of it. And you got to be able to hire for it. Speaking of hiring. So I'm a graduate. And I go to the Anderson Business School of UCLA. UCLA, Anderson School of Business Management, and I can go to Wharton, right, in Penn, or I can go to Darden in Virginia, or any other business school like Stanford or Yale or Harvard. Right now, it's being reported. If you get your MBA, you get your master's in business administration degree, and you go in there and you're looking for a job, 1 out of 5 are still looking for jobs 3 months later. That's a telling story, because this is your economy. If the top tier graduates of these business schools can't find jobs, there's no job placement. That means that these companies are not hiring annually, fiscally. They're hiring in one window. And they're literally cutting costs everywhere they can. When they're out of job, and this was reported, okay, this is the worst percentage of placement in the history of business schools in the last 50 years. They can't fill the positions because there are no open positions. 1, everyone's long in the tooth and they're just collecting bonuses and riding it out. 2, there's not enough new business to open up and you're not going to find a position within it. So you're not being hired as a CFO, you're not being hired as an analyst, an add-on, even a foot soldier. It's not happening right now. That's a telltale sign for this economy. Okay, so that's what was being reported today. I just want you to know that I wish them all the best of luck, these graduates. And maybe they all read the writing on the wall. Everybody wants to be, with private equity. They all want to be in finance in these sectors. But you want to be in private finance? You want to be in private credit? People don't want to give up those positions. They want those bonus checks. They want to keep them going. Mark Rowan, it was announced that he has a replacement, 2 replacements, because it looks like he's going to be the cabinet pick. But the replacements are like some 40-year-old guy at Apollo, and then another guy who's been there the whole time. So it's the same cat. No, it's not Leon Black, and no, it's not Josh Harris. Those 2 guys have come and gone. They're older. They're getting out of it, but it's the new regime. I think it was like John Zito, I believe was his name. Remind me of Barry Zito, the pitcher. So those are all the things happening in the market today as we ended. I mean, there's probably more stories, but I pay attention to the ones that matter to me. A lot of the things that matter to me are going to be macro footprints. And then, of course, we're also going to talk about GameStop. You guys know that. I talk about GameStop every day, every night. I love GameStop. It's one of the best investments that I've ever seen that's not talked about. As you guys know, he has a partnership. Ryan Cohen is the CEO, chairman of the board for GameStop. He's a good guy, billionaire, and he knows how to work. He knows how to do his business, and he has the right partnerships, and he's in the right circles. He's very young. He's 30s, early 40s, and late 30s, early 40s, and he's like our age, right? So, but Ryan's a billionaire, and he's navigating this world in the right circles. There are some business circles out here where there's infinite amount of money, like those UAE circles, like that Qatar connection, and maybe even Saudi Arabia connection. These are friendlies. Now, when you think about friendly territories for the U.S. and where you want to do business and what you can actually invest money into, you want to see people with proven track records, proven angel investors, proven they've been on board of directors before and they have the right mindset for what it takes to build wealth and how to transition. And that's going to be Nat Turner. He's the new member on the board of directors with GameStop. And then, of course, Ryan Cohen just teamed up with a Sultan, some Sultan that's from a company called Invest. And these guys, billions of dollars, right? Bigger relationships, bigger than just, hey, I want to sell Funko Pops. But if people don't want to invest for the future, if they don't want to invest for what could happen, then they're going to miss out. And I'm not asking anyone to invest money into GameStop. I'm not asking you to buy anything. Don't buy anything. It's on you. But you want to get the information that you're looking for. And right now, GameStop has a really good hold on this economy because they have the cash. They have the cash and they have no debt. Like, whenever you go to buy a house, first thing they ask you is, what's your debt to income ratio? What's your credit score? Are you liquid? How much money can you afford? What can you afford? And they always look for the best candidates. The best candidates are the guys who have great credit scores and don't have too much debt. So they have a proven track record of paying everything off when it's due, and they don't have too much debt. Because you can't carry too much over to a loan or an expansion of your wealth. Well, guess what? Imagine someone asking Ryan Cohen what type of business he's running. Imagine those meetings he gets into with these rich people, and they're like, What kind of business you got? Well, I got a company it's sitting on $5 billion worth of cash, and we have zero debt, and we make a profit, and it's transitioning, it's pivoting, and here's what it's like. We want to scale. We want to grow. We want to do this on another level. We have another business that's going to partner up. We have something in the similar way, right? PSA. PSA is the same revenue stream almost with GameStop. It's collectibles. It's coming to the store, dropping off your cards, getting them serviced, back and forth. Like there's a real transition yet cohesion. Like these things go hand in hand. It's like, oh, you grade comic books and coins? Great. But how big is GameStop going to be? Is GameStop going to be the new hobby store in every town? There's enough of them. There's 2,000 of them, 3,000 of them. There's enough to where your mom and pop card shops are going to lose. I went to Vegas. There was 9 GameStops in Vegas. And there was about 5 card shops. I'm willing to bet those card shops won't be around forever, and GameStop will. GameStop has billions. They don't. You know what I was told at the card shop? Actually, because you guys know I actually went. I went to the card shops. I actually went to a card show. And people behind the counter were just like, no, we don't want to adopt it. We don't want it. They're too big. They're too this. They are. They are too big. You want your mom and pop. You want all of that. You want to have the security, and a lot of people like the community that it takes, like. But I learned this because I talked to a guy once. I talked to Jim Sinegal. A lot of you guys know who Jim Sinegal is. He's the founder and father of a lot of things in retail. And I talked to Jim Sinegal. I asked him a question. I said, hey, Jim, we used to have a competitor across the street. And because they're gone, does that change the way we do business? And he said, that competitor can stay in business for a decade. I'm gonna keep this building here for a decade and a day. And his point was, he's gonna outlast you. He's gonna beat you. And there's nothing you can do because he's not going anywhere. And I really saw it happen. I saw it happen with my own eyes. Comp stores within if you have a comp within 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius, your sales might be different, your margins might be different, but you're going to win in the long run because they can't outlast you. Right now, GameStop is in the business mode to outlast Best Buy, to outlast Walmart's Entertainment Center, to outlast Circuit City, which they already did, to outlast Radio Shack, what they already do. They're winning. They're winning so big, and other people can't see it. GameStop outlasted Toys R Us. They're supposed to be the next Toys R Us. You're absolutely correct when people say it to you. But GameStop has transitioned, its pivot, and it's won. It's won the battle that everybody keeps looking for. The lamestream media, absolutely. Had to walk away for a minute. Doggies wanted to play out in the snow. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to play in the snow. I just never get them. I never get the snow out here. So I'm okay with that, though. Because my wife wouldn't know how to function in the snow. All right, let's go look at some websites. Let's talk about some stuff here. All right, first thing, and I found something crazy. I really did. You guys, this is what I found. Look at this, okay? This is going to be the Western Journal. I'm so sorry. The Western Journal. Is that private equity? Is this MSN? It's just on the website, right? Okay, cool. It says California is finished. More than 50% of Californians don't blame Karen Bass for the fires. See, I want to know where he got that info from. I want to know where they got this info to write this. But I'm not worried about the fires in LA. You know what I'm worried about? Who they actually quoted in this article. Look at this, guys. Karen, we all know, failed LA politicians. Wall Street Apes. Wall Street Apes. Whenever I've seen this guy post on Twitter, I'm always like, who the hell are you? Wall Street Apes. And there's always like, AMC. You don't think it's AMC? This guy's all AMC. But you got somebody to post your stuff here? That's wow. And put on there, take a drive down PCH in Los Angeles after the Pacific Palisades fire. Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass must be held accountable for this. This is one of the most iconic drives anywhere in the world, LA history is gone. Yeah, it is. LA history is gone. And it's unfortunate that this happened. But look at the drive. You can see over the ocean. And that's just unfortunate. Because all the $1 million houses that were along the roadway, you're never going to find them. They burned up everything. How can you rebuild those custom built homes? You can't. They'll never be the same. You wouldn't even know what to do. So, I like the guy who told me I didn't know what I was talking about when it comes to real estate. And I said, yeah, there's no equity within the home. It's the equities in the land. You can build any house on that land. And it's going to be worth millions instantly. You can build a shack, and it's worth millions. It's the land that people want. It's location, location, location. But look at this. This is ruined. I mean, imagine the cleanup job here. Are they going to front that bill? I'm asking you. Biden, you guys going to front that bill? But my whole question, why are we quoting this dude? Wall Street Apes. You guys ever seen this guy? We are the resistance. James O'Keefe, Donald J. Trump Jr., Bongino, Matt Gaetz, Joe Rogan. And they're always trying to do the most sensationalized headlines. Always. That's basically all it ever is. So now we're just doing California hit pieces. Cool, bro. Good job, Wall Street Apes. I guess they found their next low-hanging fruit. Used to be just, AMC and that stuff, but now it's Wall Street Apes and it's California. Thanks, bro. Didn't know. California's finished, though, yeah. Here's my position right now in GameStop. I have $23,000 of my own and $25,000. It's worth $25,800 right now, almost $26,000. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with me. Why I have like heart murmurs and stuff. But 51 shares is all I own. Thank you so much for that. 51 shares. The Discord's there, guys. I know people are posting stuff, which is cool. I'll get to reading it in a bit. But we need to hire more AI robots to grade cards. I'm down with that. Let's go see if we broke down from the 2,100 cards that we had earlier. If you guys are not familiar, GameStop had 2,040 cards. And I was so excited. I was like, man, they're going to get below 2,000. But it keeps going up. 2,152. They're getting them in there. They have a lot of 1999 cards I saw, and then they sell out right away. 1999 Pokemon, first generation, they sell out so fast. So, as you guys know, I'm sitting on a Caitlin Clark card. It's waiting. It's coming. Had to buy her original rookie card from that Bowman set from 2022, Caitlin Clark. And you know what, guys? I've been giving away cards left and right. I've been doing all that, and that's one I'm not giving away. I'm just going to hang on to it. It's just going to go right behind me somewhere on this wall. But I'm going to clean up this whole thing behind me, too. I'm going to figure out my background coming up real soon. But we'll see where it goes. All right, we're going to look at the charts. We'll talk about other stocks other than United Healthcare and other things like that. So, appreciate you. GameStop is a technology company. Absolutely. Inventory looking a little low. Yes. All the family videos and pictures lost. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's not even about the pictures. It's not about the videos, okay? The problem that you have with what happened in LA, and my wife and I talked about this the other night, it was the fact that, I think about our house. We live here. And ever since we moved in, it's been the house that every family comes to. We have Thanksgiving here, Easter, Christmas. We have it all here for the whole family. We're talking about 60 to 80 people at a function. New Year's, massive parties. 4th of July, everything's massive on a large scale because we have a big family and everybody comes. And I said, babe, imagine if the house burned down. Like, what would we do? What would we do? Like, you lose all those memories. Your family members don't get to come over. We don't get to hang out like we used to. It's always gonna be like remember. And it's sad. It's really sad for those people because that they were the breadwinners. A majority of them living in Pacific Palisades, or they had a house that had been around forever, and people are always coming to it. Some of those houses, even though they're not worth, $5 million, now worth $8 million. Like Anthony Hopkins' house. Anthony Hopkins, the actor from Silence of the Lambs, his house burned down. And he had the original mask from Silence of the Lambs in his house, worth like $200,000. He had other movie paraphernalia stuff that he left in there because he wasn't there, and it all burned down. So all of that history's gone. Not that I care, I wouldn't care one bit, but I'm just saying there are things that are irreplaceable. You can't replace them, and you can't put a dollar value on that. So certainly, and you can't put a dollar value on your life. So it's sad to see it. For some people, they lost everything that they've known. They all got to pick up the pieces. They got to go to new stores. They got to go to new schools. And the last part about that people really need to take in consideration is all of the employees that worked at those houses. There are employees that worked the grounds, whether it be housekeeping, gardeners, you name it. Somebody worked on those houses. And those somebodies probably don't live in Palisades. They probably live in Long Beach, or they probably live, on the outskirts of the valley. And if you're living somewhere and you're driving in every day to go cut all these yards, and that's the income you rely on, guess what? You don't have that income now. You don't have that duty to the family. And the family doesn't owe you anything, but what are you going to do? How are you going to explain it to your bill collectors now that, hey, you know what? I'm impacted by these fires because my employment was in that vicinity. And these are the things that the administration could never fix. You're giving me $700, a one-time payment of $700 for prescriptions and food and bills that are due immediately, cell phone bills. So here's my thing. Are they oblivious that the prescriptions can cost $700 for one refill? Not everybody has the best medical in the world, or free medical, like in their case, politicians. So these are the things that I view and I value. There's going to be some housekeeper or some gardener, and there's not just one. There's thousands. There's hundreds that are going to be without income and without jobs, and nobody can help those people. And it's unfortunate because they don't think about them. They don't think about the service industries when tragedies like this happen. That's the truth. Okay. So anyway. We've been busy as F taking care of all the situations. That sucks. Talk about CPA and ask Tito for the dog. Yeah. So we fly Monday. No, we probably crash Monday. Get better, Amber. Yeah, absolutely. Those houses are generational, bought for cheap decades ago and kept in the family. Yeah, and the thing is, Mike, the biggest thing about these houses out there is that's the equity and that's the wealth. The family's hanging on to that, and they'll sell them when somebody passes away or whatever. And they might be, I got to sell mom and dad's house, and there's $7 million. It's worth $5 million, $4 million, whatever it may be. But that's the wealth. That's your equity, and you don't get it now. You own the land, sure, but you don't own the house. I mean, what are you gonna do? They're gonna come play land grab. They're gonna come offer you something that you have to take because you feel like you're defeated. And you're not going to be able to capitalize on it unless you rebuild yourself and you go through the years of red tape and the bullshit. But you're going to have contractors stiff you. You're going to have a logistical nightmare for materials and supplies. So I can only imagine what it's going to take. And with all the regulations that are in California, you're gonna see how many porta potties are going to be on the side of the road over there because they're going to have them for the workers. And it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for anyone, but someone's going to scoop in and get a hell of a deal, and they're going to be able to strong arm a lot of people out of those top tier locations. Don't forget to hit the like button. Marantz, I have $7,000 in a brokerage account I'm using for just trading. I'm debating swing trading options as I'm pretty good at technical analysis, or just using a bit at leaps on GameStop. Jose Espinoza, I've been watching you type into the chat for the last month. You comment on most of the videos, and you're very active on the channel. Okay, you're so active on the channel that I realize you don't understand what we've been doing here for 4 years. You're typing into the chat as if you are a seasoned professional and you want to go and gamble. I don't care how much TA you think you know. I don't care what money you have laying on the side and it's an insignificant amount. You can't come into the chat and write up a whole piece and tell people this is your idea and this is what you're doing. You have direct influence when it's on the platform here. You have to be responsible for your own actions. Telling me what you plan on doing, and excuse my language, why the fuck do I care? I care about the poisonous, what we call it the bad apple theory. You're never going to understand because you're going to try to be chasing profits that don't exist and or winnings. When is enough? When you lose it all? Because certainly if you were to win a bet, put some money down and you make some profit, it's going to give you some false hope. Just like it does when you go to the casino and you win for the first time. You're going to be chasing that first time feeling. I'm saying this with respect to you, Jose, because I know you're a fan of the show. But if you were a fan of this show, then you would understand all you have to do is take it slow and buy some shares. How many of you, show of hands, have been buying GameStop for 4 years? And how many of you have benefited from the price action that is GameStop, when it gets low versus it gets high and where it evens out? GameStop's cost average over the last 4 years is $24.84. That's the average. How do I know? I buy it every day. Is that fair? I buy it every day. I buy a share a day, or I try to, and I put as much as I can, how much over I can afford. What's the cost average, though? It doesn't matter how much I put in. What's the cost average? That's the fluctuation of the stock. You're on the plus side of things right now, or you should be, and if you're not, then keep taking it slow. But to throw a whole stack at it and say, I want to see what this... Like, I couldn't risk $1,000. Oh, I have 1,000. Oh, I might have 1,000 next month when I get paid. Or tomorrow. Who knows? Would I do that? Got to make some call options for these weeklies. They got 5 days till they expire. Why? I'm convinced that half of you guys listen to what I say. The other half just here for a click and a view. It makes zero sense to me, dude. You buy a share, you feel good, go back to work. Buy a share, feel good, go eat some dinner. Buy a share, feel good, go buy some shoes. Buy a share, feel good, go take your girl out. Buy a share, feel good, do whatever the hell you want to do. But the whole idea was to buy a share or two and feel good about it. Some people get lucky. Some people get real lucky. And then some people lose their ass off. Marantz, do you know if GameStop has any connections left with Loopring? No, I don't work for GameStop, so I don't know that. Yeah, you sound desperate. No, you just sound greedy. You sound impatient. I'm telling you. Say it with all the respect in the world. I know guys that go in and they have that FOMO. Like, let's do this question, okay? I got $5,000 cash in my pocket. I buy a share for $30, okay? One a day. Shares the next day go to 40. One. Shares go to 60. I buy one. And you say to yourself, well, wait a minute, man. You could have bought them all with the $5,000 on 30. You would be up. You missed out on those gains. Yeah? Was I going to sell at 40? Was I going to sell at 60? No? Okay, good. Because you know what I'm going to do with the other $4,920 that I didn't spend? I'm going to leave it right where it's at in case my daughter gets a flat tire, in case my wife loses her job, in case I get sick and I can't go to work. You guys live a different life than me, man. That's all I can tell you. You live a different life than me. How the hell are we talking about options and what you think you might know how to read and what you might know? And I just told you, you're going to get a new administration on Monday. You don't have a goddamn clue of what's happening on this market. It's so choppy. It's back and forth. You want to know how you know that nobody believes in this market right now? Because I don't know if you pay attention to this shit, but you should. Let's go look at the SPY, okay? This is the SPY. And I'm going to go on the weekly chart. Matter of fact, I'll even go on the monthly chart. Okay. This is SPY on the monthly chart since 1993. All right? Pay attention. Stop looking at the damn price. For the love of God, stop looking at the price, man. And start looking at the volume. See these metrics down here, these big ass bars down here? You see them? You see them, right? So when was the best time to buy into this market? When did it have all the volume in the world? During the greater financial crisis, right here. All the volume in the world. It sold off, and then everybody bought in. Everybody. Here comes COVID. What happens? It sells off, and it's steady the whole way through. Now I'm going to ask you, what do you notice about the market today? How many people are buying in right now? Look at the volume. How many people are buying in? Is this not the worst time? No one's buying in. It's the smallest time. Do you know when's the last time it got really small? Right before this big dip, was it really big? No, it got small again. It got small. They were trying to buy back this dip right here from 2003, from the 2000, the drop, right? Trying to buy it back, and they still couldn't because things were too expensive. I'm looking right now, and you don't see any volume on this damn market. And if I took it to the weekly, you see even less volume. I showed you the other day, and I can show it to you here. These are the daily charts. And I showed you this day right here, 33 million shares traded back and forth on Christmas Eve. But right here, it was 28. 28, and then what, 26? Right there, 26. 26, 28, 33, small volume days. They're all happening right now because no one's buying in at the top. The worst days on volume are all happening right now. This is a daily chart. I can scroll on down, show you when they all bought in on this market, show you when they all bought in on 23. Nope, this is when they bought in. Way over here. We can keep going. Way over here. This is when they bought in, right here. 2020. Everybody bought into this market in 2020. It came down. People are buying it. They're buying it. That's what all that is down there, all that volume. They're not getting out of it. They bought it all down here. So you know what all Wall Street's been doing? Hanging on to this dip that was COVID. This is COVID. They've been hanging on to this dip. They all bought down here. And they let this shit rip through the sky, pumping and pumping the $6 trillion. The $6 trillion that got printed for the pandemic. And it has pumped it all the way to here, up and to the right. You doubled the size of the economy. Sure you did. Inflation, right? But you want to buy options. Because you know how to read charts. You're pretty good at it. Hey, Jose, I don't know what, is it Jose? I don't know. Hey, Jose. Espinoza, right? I know the last name for sure. Hey, Espinoza, can I tell you something? Jose Espinoza. You're not as good as you think you are. I'm just letting you know. Whatever false sense of hope you have and or, I don't know, confidence, you're not that good. Because nobody is. Nobody's Roaring Kitty. There's only one Michael Jordan. There's only one Kobe Bryant. There's only one Warren Buffett. There's only one Roaring Kitty. You're not him. When that sinks in, then you'll take your $7,000. Look at this. We're having a conversation about $7,000. That's how much I care. Do you think they will print more money again to repeat the kicking can cycle? Or has it gone too far now? Michael Vanetti, I don't know. I don't know. There'd have to be another catalyst. And what I mean by catalyst, think about the events that have happened. .com bubble, what did they do? They tore down towers. Literal towers. Greater financial crisis, what did they do? They saved the world. They saved all the auto industry. They saved the housing industry. They did it all. Print. Churn. Burn. Okay, FDIC Bank, let's see how good you really are. National Insurance, let's see if it covers a Cali fire. I doubt it. I don't know how many banks burned down. Thank you, Leanna. Yes, super solid. Good, you agree to some of these things, Jose. That's cool, man. Voice chat. Is that what happened? Did I miss something? Did you send me one? Bro, hold on. I have my phone on silence. Mike did. Oh, okay. Well, just let me call you. Want me to call you on the phone, Mike? There, I'll call Mike. He's going to tell us about the fire. Let's go. Mike. Does Mike want? Yo, yeah. What's up, Mike?
What's up, man?
You want You want Discord or you want this?
Which is better for you? Whatever's better, man.
It don't matter. We're here. We're here. They can hear you.
Okay, I'm actually parking right now. Sorry, I got my seatbelt thing on. I know that you're talking about the fires and so forth. I'm sorry about that. Hang on 1 second here. All right. No, I just want to give some insight. I know you're talking about the fires. And, to bring awareness of what's going on, obviously, what I do, I work for a utility that has to do with natural gas out here. And what we've been seeing and going through has been devastating, man. It's been atrocious. I mean, coworkers, management, supervisors, just everybody's lost houses, family members, belongings. I know that you said something like, what happens if your house burns down? You know, schools were gone. I mean, just complete neighborhoods. It's absolutely devastating, man. And when you see it firsthand, when you're looking at it, you're just seeing rubbles, blocks and blocks of rubble, and there's just flames just rolling out the ground from just gas lines that's been melted, completely off and just ignited and just torched. And so they have multiple torches, like in where your meter would be or where a set would be, and it's just all throughout the neighborhood, right? And so trying to control that safely and it doesn't matter if it's Edison or if it's natural gas. There's just people from all walks of life that lost everything. I like how you're saying that there's a lot of people that could be maids, gardeners, that they're not going to have any income. Right. There's families that they have a second house, a third house, and for them, they may have an option to go somewhere else. But I know firsthand and personally, there's a lot of people think of Pacific Palisades. Yeah, it's a beautiful area and it's wealthy and so forth. But a lot of those people, the celebrities, a lot of those people that house was there for generations. Like years or decades ago, someone had bought it, a family member bought it, and they kept it in the family for so long. And one thing that they have is their taxes. They're grandfathered in from a tax rate from decades ago. And now that if they don't build within a certain amount of time, I think this time is 2 years, that they're going to be upgraded to the land tax rate now, the new one for the state of California, and they're not going to be able to afford that. So, maybe they pay $30,000 in taxes on an annual basis. That might shoot up to $200,000, $300,000 or something crazy like that because for the land. And these people, they think of Palisades and that they have money, and you know what? They don't. They're just like us. And granted, not everybody, but they covet these properties and these homes because they know now at this point in their life they can never purchase that or do that again, buy it again, because it's out of their tax bracket, it's out of their range of what they can afford for their families. And so to have in generations actually just lose in the matter of hours or weeks, I mean, it's just devastating. Then there's no water. You got firemen out there just opening fire hydrants, and there's nothing in there. Altadena, Pasadena, man, it's just devastating. And working the hours that my fellow coworkers are working, around the clock, it's just been nonstop. There's some bickering. There's some things that go on. People are, upset by working conditions, and you got to wear your N95 mask, and you got to do all these fresh air, and there's a lot of things you have to do. But also, you don't realize when you have a bunch of workers out there, you got SDG&E down south, and you have PG&E up north. You have a lot of people coming down to help, but there's some areas there's no places to eat. Everything's been burned down. There's no place to get food. You literally have to drive out to get food and then bring it back. By the time you bring it back, it's cold and soggy, and you're tired and you're hungry and you're exhausted, and you got to eat this nasty ass food. And it's a cycle. But I think just for the audience, you're following, and I appreciate you, man. Is you even talking about it, because being here, you're in Southern California where I am. We live in different parts, but you're an hour and a half away from me.
Yeah.
And being out here and being in this industry and doing what I do when it comes to the natural gas and shutting off sections, gassing up other sections and trying to alleviate and keep everything safe. It's been, supporting my coworkers and working. It's not only hard, but it's devastating to see all the hurt and pain of teachers and classrooms. And, I was talking to a lady who works at a school district, and she was just devastated because all of her kids' artwork that she saved throughout the year or years has been gone. And that was something for her because she doesn't have anybody. The only thing she has is her job and her kids as a teacher, as an elementary school teacher. And for her to lose that, that's like her life. And I know people say, well, it's material things, but these are from kids that she's, helped, and they're adults now, and it's all gone. That's her whole piece of life. And there's just many stories on that, man. So I just want to just shed some, light, give some light, some awareness. And I've been at work since 4 o'clock this morning. I just got off right now. I'm gonna sleep, eat for a couple hours, and I'm gonna go back to work. Wake up at 3 and rinse and repeat.
Yep.
My family's been supporting me doing what I do, because without them, I couldn't do it. And, so I just want to give you props, man. Kudos for you doing what you're doing and bringing awareness, even just talking about it. I know, everybody's up on GME and our 51 shares, but when it comes to things like this, man, it's just like, it's devastating. And it's not even here in California. You got North Carolina, you have back east and other parts of the country, even the points, where it snowed in Texas. Man, it's just, I just want to say, God bless everybody. God bless you, man. And just keep doing what you're doing, dude. And I appreciate you. Not just a YouTuber or somebody that just, talking about GameStop and what you do to, when it comes to GameStop, how passionate you are. That's amazing in itself. But just for you to stop and talk about this, you're a good dude, man. Aside from what other people think, you're a good dude, because I know deep down you care, man.
Sure.
And just be happy. I know your twins are Rico, but just be happy that you're not ill, man.
That's the hardest part of my day. That's the hardest part of one day. Hey, Mike, I appreciate you, baby. I'll get at you. I will, and I'll follow up on some of this stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going, man. God bless everybody, man. And hey, peace out, millionaires of the USA, man. God bless, bro.
Yes,
hey.
Likewise. God bless you. He's a good man right there. That's Mike. Mike and I, when I first saw Mike, I was like, yo, bro, this is the Marantz of the AMC crowd. I like, dude, this guy's terrible because he used to talk about AMC in a positive light, and then I saw him. He finally got the whiff of it because he met Adam Aaron in person, and he said, "Hey, man, this guy's not real. This guy's fake. He's not about you. He's about himself." And Mike can read some people. Mike can read some people, and it's very thankful. And I just read David in here. You know, David's in the chat right now. David comes in. AMC and GameStop, baby. Shut your ass up. There's no part of this conversation we'll ever have about AMC movie theaters, the worst investment in the United States next to Mullen Automotive. Don't ever come say it. I barely gave you a 5-minute timeout. I was going to ban you and block you for life, but it's the first time I ever saw you, so I was being nice. Anyway, the reason why I talk about housekeepers and gardeners being affected by the fires, right? And them not having a place, because my grandfather was a gardener. Okay, my grandfather cut grass at all these homes out here where I live, all these country club homes, and that's how he made his living. And he got a couple of contracts for like whole country clubs, and that really helped him out. It was a mom and pop deal, bro. It's like two gardeners, him and two dudes, whatever. But he made it work, and that's how we were able to afford, you know, not our lifestyle, not like we have anything. It was just, I mean, there was times, you know, growing up, Rico and I, we didn't have, because my dad didn't really have excess money, but we had bikes. And we're like, how'd you get bikes? Well, somebody didn't pay for their gardening service, so my grandfather took their bikes and said, well, when you pay me, because I cut your grass, I'll give you back these bikes. And next thing you know, we had two 10-speeds, and they were female 10-speeds. We didn't know the difference because we used to hang out in the middle of the bar. We couldn't fit on the seat, and our feet hit the pedals. We were in the bar. We were in the middle from the seat to the handlebars, and we're just right there just jumping up on the pedals. Well, the pedals had spikes because these were like actual spiked pedals. And we were barefoot, and we got those spikes and everything. And if your foot fell off the pedal, you'd cut up your whole shin, back of your leg. Oh, it was bad. And you'd crash into curves because we didn't know how to jump these bikes or anything. Hey, well, my friends had BMX, right? They had VFRs, very fast rides. They had all those nice little bikes. We over here had these, oh, my God, these girly-ass teal blue, they were baby blue bikes, bros. And that's what we drove. They never came. Hey, they never gave my grandfather the money, so we got to keep the bikes. That was cool. But I tell you that because my grandfather worked, and he worked at houses. And then my wife's grandmother, Grandma Nina, you guys know her, GameStop holder, God rest her soul. She worked for a lot of wealthy families. She wasn't necessarily like the housekeeper; she was a house manager. So she like managed all the things that went on with the house. But those are jobs that you can't come back to if you don't have them. You know, so. I'm sad for a lot of folks and families. Shout out to a friend of ours, my wife and I. We have friends. They're an amazing couple, and they actually went out and got food and went all the first responders, and they went and dropped off hot food to everybody. They bought pizzas from like this one pizza joint. They were just stopping everywhere, getting water, getting everything they could. Whatever they could get their hands on, they were driving around town just dropping stuff off. It was awesome. And that was a personal video for us. It wasn't like it was spread all over the internet or anything like that. It just, hey man, here's what we're doing today. We're out traveling and getting food and pictures. Because my buddy Ralph, he's a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. But he used to be a Marine and real militant dude. Cool guy. But hey, he knows to give back to the people. That's just what you have to do. It's your time. So. Yeah, shout out to Mike. Keep grinding, Mike. You know how it goes, man. And the way Mike had my back, you know when Mike had my back one time? Was when Ant Trade said he wanted to rape my wife and kill my kids and all that stuff on the chat. And he got like he got too crazy. And everybody was like live streaming at the time. And they're like, hey, bro, do you hear this YouTuber? He's going to kill Marantz and kill his wife and everything. Like, what's this guy doing? I just said, man, you say what you guys want. You guys get rowdy, get loud on the internet. That's all you're ever going to do. Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a long night. I heard insurance companies would not cover their losses. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You know, the insurance commissioner of the state of California said, well, they should reinstate you, and they should take you back. That's the right thing to do. Who gives a shit what you think they should do? It's what you can't make them do. There's a contract involved, and what they should have done is allowed more underwriting in the state of California for vehicles and homes. It's not just homes that burn down, it's cars too. So you guys want to talk about individuals that are non-transit, and they're stuck where they're at, and there are families living with families. I can't even tell you how many people have come to the desert where I live, and I've seen all the transplants. They're all here right now. They're renting Airbnbs. They're everywhere out here. Everyone's just trying to get away, and they're buying air purifiers. I told you, air purifiers are crazy, but I've seen everybody driving around, and you know it. You can tell because they don't know how to drive. I heard insurance. There you go. Bless this man for taking care of his neighbors. Yeah, everybody. Mike's a good dude. Also checking in for attendance. We run it back. Thank you so much. Or worst, insurance companies cancel their policies. What a shame. Yeah, they try to give them a mandate. They try to tell them 90 days. From October 8th to now. It's like, you can't do that. There's no, what's the cutoff? Why is there a cutoff? Why is there a cutoff on the 8th? What happened to what about the 6th? What about October 6th? What about those people? What about the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd? You're going to tell me the 8th? That's it? That's the cutoff? That is not fair. But this is all for face value. This was all for bullshit. This was all just for the dog and pony show. I get to do it in public. I get to tell you that I have this plan that we're doing it. Gavin Newsom 2 days later, after being boots on the ground, he went ahead and got Canada to bring in a plane, and then they got Mexico to bring in some 80 firefighters, the best of the best from Mexico. And then, of course, the political machine took off, right? The newspapers, everybody, this is what we're doing. We're a cohesive unit. We're together. Trump, we got Gavin Newsom running the show. He's got it going. And I'm just looking at you like, are you guys stupid right now? You're bringing in planes and people, and the fire already burned down the damn city. Like, if you were amazing, you would do that the first day. But you couldn't. It was 100-mile-an-hour winds, right? That's what I'm being told, 100-mile-an-hour. No. You got to plan better. I've been a part of like crazy stuff in my life, and I actually got to drive through New Orleans during Katrina, right after Katrina, actually. And I know Almo was there, or his family's there, or whatever, and it's like the worst tragedy in the history of America. If people do not know what happened in New Orleans, the way the city flooded and the levees broke, and there was no repairing that. And they have repaired the city, but you can't. How many thousands of people lost their lives, they got misplaced, and now they live in Houston, they live in Dallas, they live in Alabama, they live in other cities and states. Because you can't. There's none of that there. So it's definitely going to happen here. Happy people finally talking about the jobs and schools lost in that fire. Yeah, because are you kidding, dude? Like, it's going to be tough. Gavin Newsom failed to prepare California for this. They've been warned back. Yeah, Joan Rogan live show. I remember that one. They could have filled the water reserves. Reminds me of Maui. Yeah. Maui's a little bit tough. You know why it doesn't remind me of Maui? Because Maui doesn't have as many people as impacted. I'm just going to be honest with you. The amount of people impacted by this it's an unfathomable amount. Like, you guys can't even. Here's why. Because the world still goes. LA's burning down. Okay? The world still goes around. California still goes around. Nobody stood still. People are still going to work. People are still delivering trucks of food and products and everything. Traffic is still there. There's still rush hour traffic. Everything is amplified. The world still goes. That's the hardest part. In Maui, do you know what they did in Hawaii? I know, for a lot of reasons. But they actually, full halt. All transportation stops. There's no airports are running. They're not letting you travel from island to island. They're literally stopping you in your place because they can't take the influx on certain islands. They can't absorb 10,000 people all at once. They don't have the bathrooms. They don't have the kitchens. They don't have the beds. So it's a lot harder when you're that far away to take it all in and to really keep it going. So it's duly hard and not so bad. Just saying. I'm not trying to trivialize it or marginalize it. I'm letting you know it's bad. 100-mile-an-hour winds never stopped our military. Make California red again. Get rid of Gavin. Stay strong. Sure. Whatever it may be. All right, that's enough. We're there. I'm with you. All right, let me see what else I got so I can get the hell out of here. I had chart. Oh, it was charts I wanted to look at. Cool. All right, guys. So I explained why you can't be doing these bets right now on the SPY, on the market itself. It's just not going to happen. Okay. Just you don't know what's happening, so I'd rather you do that. Full recovery after the Hindenburg research piece came out already. That's what it looks like, from 268 all the way down to the 170 something, bouncing back. It's all bullshit. I hope Carvana gets exposed. Ally Financial is not a company that I promote and I protect. The WNBA actually has new sponsorships. WNBA, the unfortunate part is Wilson, Ally Financial, their number one sponsor, and Sephora, but no real women products or catered to women things were actually the sponsor. So what the hell? What is their avenue of making money? Or is it just private equity sponsorships? I didn't know what it was. So I was still looking at it. Nike, I really like Nike at 70. I've been telling you guys. I like Nike at 70. At one point, this company's going to turn around. At one point, it's going to go back up. And I just think that 140 is not out of the question. I don't think 140 is hard. I think 120, 130, 140, in that range. So previous levels, okay? Previous levels. This is a shoulder here. This shoulder here at 140 was good support. This is coming out of the pandemic and approaching a good level. Now you have all this downhill choppiness, but it could always come right back up. Some good earnings, some good. I really like it at 70. But what do I know? Everything's coming down, right? There you go. So market was green over here on value stocks, IVE. I told you to start paying attention to the top 20, and that's TOPT, top 20 stocks on the market. VIX is still going. Nothing too crazy, 16. Here's your small caps. I Russell 2000. I see it. It's trading right there. 50-day moving average coming on down. Worried for a lot of people. If I look here, it's all the way down to 200-day moving average of where it was. So we're in a new window here. I don't see it going above 229. It's level resistance, and then level support at 214. That is your market, or it should be. I'm waiting for this thing to fall off the face of the earth. This is the super microcomputers, SMCI. Why do I feel it's going to fall off the face of the earth? I just think that it was overvalued at one point on purpose. But to have an $18 billion market cap, knowing that it used to be 4 times that, or $80 billion in that range, to go from $80 billion, you got to remember where it was, though, guys. Okay, we're talking about a stock that, God, go to the weekly. A stock in 2018 at 85 cents. This is after they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, finance bullshit. Boom, 85 cents. I don't even have to go in the 85-cent route. I literally can go right here at the $4 range, somewhere in this $4 range, somewhere here at $3 in 2022. In 2022, then they decided, you know what? This is the company that's going to make the chassis for all the chips for NVIDIA, and they can do it faster than anybody. Remember, they don't have regulations that we do in America. These guys do a lot of the processing in Taiwan between the brothers' companies. So with this going on here, they were able to increase all the way from $4, $5, all the way to $122. It's a big deal considering. But Carvana is even a bigger uptick. So between Carvana and Supermicro Computers and NVIDIA, I see a lot of parallels. I see a lot of things that just took off out of the atmosphere, and no one talks about them. Everybody's just quiet about it. And you're just like, what? Why aren't we talking about NVIDIA? Oh, no, Marantz, they do NVIDIA all the time. It's all over. No, you don't know what I'm saying. They lost $500 billion. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about the fact that Apple's down 12% since its highs of December. How are we 16 days into the year? They're down 12%, guys. No one's talking about this economy crashing. They're just saying, oh, no, it's all priced in. Everything else is taking a tick down. The top 2 companies in the world lost $1 trillion. The market's still in the 590s. It's still there. It's still okay. They only lost 2 to 3%. It's okay. Bullshit. Talk about it. Then we'll talk about GameStop. Then we'll talk about where we're headed. But I seen Bitcoin go all the way to 108. It's at 101 right now. And this is my baby. This is my baby. I'll destroy all the lines. Don't care. Destroy them all. There we go. This is the weekly. And this is the daily. I'm going to wait for this thing to rocket up out of here. And when it rockets out of here, guys, I'm going to be the guy to tell you I told you so. I'm not going to sell. I'm telling you now, I don't care. This is why I talk to you guys about daily action. I don't understand how you have not grown accustomed to this, but I am not going to sell, not one share. So I'll be there. Yeah, I'm live whenever you want to be live, Dave. All good. God bless you guys in 2025. True story. I'm selling my plasma for more GameStop shares. I got this. Die hard. Try not to die so hard. Do your best, okay? Wonder when the new exchange is opening in Dallas. If it ever does open. If it ever does open. You just got to know. Anthony says, hi, Marantz. Can I ask you what you think about AMD and Lisa Su? Well, considering that she's cousins with Jensen Huang, right? From NVIDIA. What do I think about AMD? I think AMD is a company that I can get behind, depending on where they're headed. Advanced micro devices. So AMD right now, as I look at it, I'll go even further back. AMD at 227 all-time high back in March, all the way down to 118. I think it's a good buy, man. It's at 200-day moving average. Why is it the only stock at 200-day? Yeah, I think it's a good buy right now. Shit. Let me look at this really quick. You mean to tell me that it had the cross of death? It had the death cross over here. It's coming all the way down. Oh, it's got to bounce at some point, dudes. It's got to bounce at some point. This thing can be worth $1 trillion. It can go 5x from here. 118, I really like it at 118. I'll never buy it. I like it, but I'll never buy it. I'm just telling you that now. I only buy GameStop. But I think it's good value for where it's at. Just from the previous levels that you see. Previous level peak over here in 2023 was 137, 135. If you fell below that, you're right here. You're sitting on a bar. You're not that bad. Earnings are coming out. Earnings are going to be on the 4th of February. 4th of February. So I'd see where they're coming from there. That's what I would see. But yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I think the price to book, it trades 3 times book, which is awesome, considering all the other companies are trading 60, 50 times book. But you got some equity in this share. You got some equity here because the book value is $35. And for people to dismiss book, by the way, you guys are all morons. Hey, let me tell you something, okay? You little stock bros, you little guys who think you know something. Stop trying to grade companies based off of growth of markets, okay? At some point, they're going to stop growing. At some point, this market's going to stop growing. What I mean by the market's going to stop growing, the mega cappers, the mega growers, they can't grow forever. The amount of debt that they're exposed to, you got to think about the carried interest and then borrowed money. What is it? You tell me the cost of capital. The cost of capital is extremely heavy compared to where it's been for the last 15 years, and this is why these companies trade the way they do. They have I can't even imagine the market caps of trillions and trillions of dollars. Yet they want to tell you they're worth that much. I don't care if they're making $1 billion a year, $10 billion a year. NVIDIA makes how many billions of dollars a year? Not enough to make you think that it's worth $4 trillion. I just saw a headline today that said NVIDIA is going to $200 a share. They just pick a price, man. Pick a price. How the hell is it going to go up 1/4, 25% even more than where it is today? How? 30, actually it's 150, so 130. How the hell is it going to get to 200? It's going up 50%? I don't know. I don't know what world they're living in. But that's the world that they want you to believe exists. Mark to market accounting is what they're doing. Just like everyone else who all of a sudden comes up with a number to make them look great. Just like supermicrocomputers. When supermicrocomputers can't get the number for earnings, they go to the brothers companies and they sell them some shit on a contract well before they ever fill it, and they just mark the number on their accounting as accounts payable. And so that's what they're doing. NVIDIA does the same thing. They just use CoreWeave. It's a privately funded company. They use ARM, another privately or a publicly traded company, but they're willing to do these business deals, and then those companies invest money right back into them. It's always the caution. The caution of round-tripping revenues has been the same for the last 50 years, 20 years. It's frowned upon for you to invest money into a company who in turn invests the money right back into you. How is that even fair? How is this even? I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. I might as well buy all my kids the Girl Scout cookies, and we don't have to get money from anybody. We're gonna just go ahead and win this damn competition. It's bullshit. Bullshit. Where'd the money come from? Came from yourself. Must sleep, bro. Drop a comment in the previous like. Thank you so much, Marcelo. What is mark-to-market accounting? Okay, there's a good question. I would see. There we go, your boy AMC. Now, my question to you is, why haven't you watched Connect the Dots? Right? It's like I talked to all of you guys. I have a whole damn mini-series there. It's on the playlist called Connect the Dots. You go watch them, and then you would know what mark-to-market accounting is. Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay, cool. Back in the day, there was a company called Enron. I'm sure you know it. Enron fell to pieces back in 2001. They fell to pieces because they were doing mark-to-market accounting. And what that means is they were front-loading their accounting with the contracts on the books. I'm going to give you this example. Your boy, you come up to me and you say you're going to pay me $2,000 for the work that I'm about to do. I claim the $2,000 up front. I say, yep, I already claimed that as revenue, as earnings. I put it on the books. But you haven't given me $1. You just signed a contract saying that you would give it to me if I do this, this, and this over the next 4 years. Yeah. I front load the whole contract, no matter the size, no matter the payment arrangements, no matter anything. See, Enron did this with Blockbuster. They were going to do a streaming service with Blockbuster, and Blockbuster agreed to pay them $100 million. Guess what never got launched? The streaming service. Guess what Enron did? They put the $100 million on the books and said they were getting that's what they made on the contract. It's a 20-year contract, and they're never going to make that money back. $5 million a year. They never got paid a single dollar. There was no revenue involved at all, but they claimed $100 million. Do you know why? Because executives get bonuses off of that revenue. Because the books make it look good, the match, right? I tell shareholders, we signed all these mega deals. What do you think happens? Here's what happens. It's called greed. All right? So now you have a CFO, an overzealous CFO called Andy Fastow, I believe that's his name, at Enron. And he comes up with companies. He makes up his own companies. And now he says, okay, Enron, invest your money with me. Hey, an employee, invest your money with me. So he takes that money and he gives it right back. Round tripping. So here's some revenue you made now. I'm paying you. Just round tripping the same $2. NVIDIA, if you pay attention, had $10 billion worth of sales in 2022. $10 billion. They started doing mark-to-market accounting on these contracts for data centers and chips. They now show $120 billion worth of revenue for the year. How? Oh, because they're front running the number. They sign contracts with that Supermicro Computers, who's doing the same accounting practices. When they sign their contracts and they need to make a number, right? We're about to release our 10Q. NVIDIA's about to release their 10Q. And you know what they do? They go, man, we need to come up. We need to have we anticipate we would be over $2.3 billion, north of this number. You know what they did? They took $2.3 billion and invested it into CoreWeave. Do you know what CoreWeave did? Took the 2.3 and invested money into NVIDIA, and NVIDIA showed it as profit. Ding, ding, ding. Round tripping and mark-to-market accounting. Right now, NVIDIA is front-running all of the money being spent with them. Microsoft, Amazon, you name it. Everybody's spending money with NVIDIA. And NVIDIA's counting it as revenue collected up front. This is why they only give out guidance one period at a time, and they mark to market their whole contracts. It's all up front. You tell me how this Ponzi scheme is going to keep going. You tell me where they're going to find more money for the world to spend to keep pumping this stock. But they got the perfect play. The perfect play is they have money. They have money coming in from everybody. All of Wall Street says, you know what? Fuck it. We're all going to get paid. Because who's going to get charged in the end? Who's going to prison in the end? Nobody. It's just going to be Wall Street banking on this money. And Wall Street's just doing this. You know what, guys? I know an AI company, the AI, SoundHound. I know an AI company called, ARM. I know an AI company called Supermicro Computers, CoreWeave. They can put money into anybody. Private equity went and put $7.5 billion into CoreWeave. These guys are doing business with NVIDIA and they're front running the contract. They're front loading it. They get to pump their own stock. NVIDIA's taking their cash and buying back shares. Literally pumping this market. And then they want you, the people, to believe that this is the investment of a lifetime. So what do? They do a stock split, 20-1, 10-1. Make the shares presentable at $100 a piece, $120. Everybody come grab them. There's 24.5 billion shares to the public. What the hell are you guys doing? You're about to get your shit kicked. Everybody. It'll probably take a year or two. It might take you 5 years. I don't care how long it takes. You keep this charade up. They used to be a $10 billion company, $10 billion worth of sales, and they traded at a multiple of 10 to 20 on that. They're now a almost $4 trillion company just the other day. No, and hey guys, it is in 1 to 2 years. And you think, oh, it's perfect, it's good. There's a reason why Ernst & Young walked away from Supermicro Computers. Because they can't show you where their revenue's coming from and where it's really going. But I've already shown you. When it comes to CompuWare and it comes to AbleCore, like Ablecom, you're going to look at them and you're going to, is it Abercom? Ablecom? I can't think right now, Ablecom. When the other companies are the brothers of Supermicro Computers. And you find out their biggest customers are CoreWeave. Biggest customers are themselves. And they're giving the money to NVIDIA. NVIDIA's giving the money back. They're giving the money to NVIDIA. NVIDIA's giving the money back. Mark-to-market accounting, man. It's the way you ruin yourself. Because you're too greedy. You're just too greedy. Could you imagine if the company you work for gave you your salary up front? Like right when you sign the line. Are you going to work? Are you calling out? You going on vacation? Like, what are you doing? They just front loaded you. 6 figures. What are you going to do? These guys front load the number. And now you got all the executives selling shares. They had a shareholder. He's the third largest shareholder in the history of NVIDIA. And he's worth a crazy amount of money. And he's selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of shares. He hadn't sold a share in 27 years. This was the year he sold. Right when Supermicro Computers asked for an extension. Flexi World Cargo. GameStop is planning to buy a stripper. Sure. Ken Lay was the CEO, I believe. He was not the CEO. Jason. Ken Lay was the chairman of the board turned CEO. The original CEO was Jeffrey Skilling. Yeah. And then he left. And then Ken Lay had to take over. Kenny Boy. The original Kenny Boy. Like securities sold, not yet purchased. A true trust me, bro. When I invest, I look towards the fundamentals in the books and future plans. Well, what it comes out to is GAAP principles, okay? This is all about GAAP. You know, the general accounting applied principles. Like, when you think about what you're allowed to do versus what you are doing. Like GameStop, they literally do the math and they come out with the number and say, this is what we are, this is where we're at. This is the number. Well, guess what? These guys violate GAAP all damn day. And when you see the filings come through, you're like, wait a minute. How are you claiming that as revenue? Where did it come from? There's things questionable on GameStop's sheet. I've told you that before. I told you it before anybody did. Ask yourself this. Before these Wall Street bros come in here, before SEC ever filed a thing, in 2021, I told you guys, oh, GameStop sandbagging a number. And everybody said I was wrong. Tony, no, what do you mean? They can't do that. It's not allowed. What the fuck? What world do you live in, kid? It's absolutely allowed. They're doing it. I said they're sandbagging a number and they're hiding expenses in their SG&A. How many people can agree that I said this? How many people were there when I said it? And then I said, you'll find out that GameStop's actually profitable because they're lying about the number. And everybody says, how? What do you mean, Marantz? No, they attacked me, guys. Attacked me. And I was like, dude, I'm just telling you, I do the math. I literally do the P&L for my business. So when I'm doing profits and losses, and I'm showing you charts, and I'm showing you where the expenses are hid and the controllables, that's what I do for a living. So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, nah, I know exactly what's happening here. Like, you can do it. You can do it year versus year, month versus month, quarter versus quarter. You can do all the bullshit if you know what you're doing. So they have some really funky financials, and so I'm like this, and I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So I go read the SEC filing again, right? And then I find the commitment to Immutable X, and I go, okay, well, there's half of it. Where's the other half? That's not all of it. And then that's when the letter came from the SEC, and they said, hey, GameStop, tell us what you're doing, because it's not looking right. They're reporting a number lower than the number that's supposed to be given. I'm just telling you. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just letting you know what was being done. And next thing you know, CEO gets fired, CFOs get taken out, gone. Like, all this shit happened. Like, hey, you can't get this right, you guys, because you can try to fake it and be like, imagine if who was GameStop CEO before? Not Furlong, Matthew Furlong, right? So Matthew Furlong comes up and he's in a meeting and he goes, "Yeah, guys, we're trying our best. We just can't cut enough, and we just can't." And okay, so then you look at the numbers and the math not making sense. You're like, "Hold up, how is it that this? Yeah, well, it's in there. That's what's a part of it. Like, you got to be held accountable. You got to be held accountable for the numbers that are being reported." And miraculously, overnight, they're all gone. Ryan's in the picture. And you got Jim Gruby, okay? You guys got to give value to Jim Gruby. So Jim Gruby is on the board of directors with GameStop. And he's the former CFO for Chewy. And he's also done the Hyatt. And he knows his shit, okay? He's a real financial savvy kind of guy. So I can imagine he's a CFO. He's in there telling Ryan, like, hey, Ryan, we could do it this way. We can present it this way. We can, because you guys don't know about these things, man. I can't go in detail like I want to. But like, I can give you this example. There's expenses for workman's comp. Like, think about this, okay? If you had an employee that was injured and you have it on a tab for liabilities, GL as they call it, general liabilities, and then you have workman's comp. General liabilities is going to be, let's say someone got hit by a car, basket damaged their car, the wind crashed and blew down on their general liability, somebody slipped and fell in your store. Those are all GLs, okay? Then you have workman's comp, WC. So what you can do is you can also have a separate tab and you just call it entertainment. You go, wait a minute, what do you mean? And you go like this. I'm going to use my entertainment dollars and I'm going to give incentive to employees not to get hurt. Because remember, I'm paying $20,000 every time there's a workman's comp filed. But now I can use $5,000 of that I would have earmarked for WC, and I can throw a party. And I can implement culture. I can literally go like this. Hey, guys, if no one in the district gets injured over these next 30 days, we're going to have a taco guy come to every single store. We're going to have an In-N-Out truck at your store, and we're going to make sure we give you guys lunch, and we're going to do this. Like, you can even give a little bonus. You can do whatever you want. but you have that little tab there with an extra bit of money. And now you took away from WC and you took it over to entertainment. But it cost you 1/4 of it. So I'd rather do I don't know, 20 parties at $5,000 for $100,000 a year and make sure that everyone's good than have 5 hurt employees. There's so much more to do when you're thinking about culture and business and what you can implement and how you can affect that balance sheet. I'm telling you, cut off the lights, close the door. It's a penny business. Control it. All right, guys. Good luck. I am not an independent contractor. I run my own stuff, and I do well for what I do. Generally accepted accounting principles, fair accounting is allowed when the abuse of level 3 estimates and assumptions and determine asset liability values is what causes problems. I only mean it hypothetically, but had Biden or Kamala stayed, an invasion could have happened. I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. No. I don't think you understand the power of the military, but it's fine. All right. You can't come into a live stream and make statements like you did unless you can back it up with facts. This isn't misinformation pump channel. Thank you. Oh, is it somebody that was typing up there at the top? Yeah, I don't know who it was. Taiwan, TSMC. Yeah, what about it? They're up. They're doing good. They're having a good week, a good month, a good quarter. Just got announced today. So I'm paying attention to a lot of things like that. If China invades Taiwan, is a country which would affect tech stocks. Oh, is that what you're asking for? So, do I have any more interviews planned? Anthony, I don't plan anything. They call me when they call me. Bill Pulte calls me, I talk. The guy, Giovanna, whoever the hell we talked to the other day, the CEO of Drip, just call me, we talk. You just never know. These guys come through, and whatever reason, they want to talk to you guys. For whatever reason in the whole internet, millions and millions of views with Joe Rogan and everybody else. And me, I got nothing. I got a little group of the internet over here, and everybody's trying to just talk to my dudes. What the hell? Marantz, can I get on your show? Can I talk about it? Like, I guess. The hell? The hot girl at the bar wants to marry me? Shit. How'd I get so lucky? Yes, I'll take you out. Yeah, and I don't have to pay? Oh my God. This is better than anything. You guys gotta understand, I interviewed Mark Faber, okay? Industry veteran for 50 to 60 years, author, wrote a book on all the biggest shows. This guy called the crash of 87, worked for Drexel Burnham Lambert. This guy's the real deal. I interviewed him, right? Last Monday. You guys were there for the show. Go watch it. It's on a live stream. I got that interview for free. Who is it? Trade Trades or Matthew Kors? Trade Trades? Trade Trades paid the Wolf of Wall Street $10,000 to do 20 minutes about Bitcoin. I'm trying to tell you guys, I'm not paying for shit, but people want to talk. They want to roll through. They want to talk to you. They want GameStop investors because in the near future, GameStop investors are it. We're the ones. Marantz, I saw Kohl's is closing 26 stores in the news today. Yeah, your boy. I told you that 2 years ago, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I told you Kohl's is going out of business. People tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. They're going to carve out assets. They're going to lease. They're going to sell their stores and lease them back. Remember who owns that real estate company? Private equity does. These guys are already doing the run on Kohl's. It's happening. Kohl's used to trade at $28. Used to trade at $40 a share. It's now at $12. It's on its way down. Hey, but you don't have to take my word for it. That's the Reading Rainbow, by the way. Hey, I know I played a lot of good songs at the beginning of the show. I played The Cure. I've been in the mood for The Cure for like the whole month, dude. Every song from The Cure is a goddamn banger. And that's why I called the name of the show, The Cure. Then I played Mr. Jones, Counting Crows. I love that song, by the way. And because we're going to be rich and happy as we can be. And the last song I'm going to play is a banger right now that's playing. And, I haven't been doing Spanish Wednesday lately, but this song right now feels good. Makes me feel good when I hear it. So I play stuff that makes me feel good. That's it, bros. Other than that, we'll talk more about shares. We'll talk more about stock, everything we got. Maybe tomorrow. Don't know. I will tell you this. Saturday, I won't be available. Tomorrow, it'd be tomorrow morning if I am available. I just don't know. Got to put the kiddos to bed. Thanks, Marantz, for all the info, insight, entertainment, and music. Anthony, I appreciate you, bro. I do. And I'll always do my best. And thank you for supporting the channel the way you do. You guys know I had a record day the other day. I made like $7 the whole day on ad revenue. And I tell you, you guys don't know how hard it is as a YouTuber and a streamer. If you ever want to do this full time, I suggest you guys go get a real job. Okay? It's tough. But thank you. That $9 is going to go far for the kids. We're going to the Grand Canyon. I don't know when, but we're going to be going. Well, if I can get some days off soon. The days off I have coming up, I'm going to Justin Timberlake on Monday. Donald Trump's getting inaugurated on Monday. What the hell? My life is complete, baby. Is yours? GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. I'm going to see you around, millionaires. Peace.
Pa' ponerlo en altavoces, pa' mostrarte que yo soy tuyo. En las costillas me tatúo tu nombre, yeah. Que lo que tiene yo no sé, que me mata y no sé por qué.